We often believe communication starts with words. It doesn't. Long before you speak, long before someone forms a sentence, a silent conversation has already begun. The subtle movement of shoulders, the rhythm of breathing, the way the eyes scan a room, these signs reveal someone's thoughts before they unlock their voice. Every human carries two identities, the one they present and the one they protect. Learning to understand people instantly means learning to see the protected version, the version they don't narrate but silently live. Think about the last time someone pretended to be fine. Their smile stretched, but their eyes blinked too fast. Their words sounded calm, yet their jaw tightened like it was guarding a secret emotion. The body leaks truth, tiny, quiet truths, and those leaks become bridges to deeper perception. To read someone, begin where most people never look, their stillness. Stillness speaks volumes. A person who suddenly freezes mid-conversation isn't relaxed. The mind is processing, protecting, or hiding. When someone pauses too long before answering a simple question, it's rarely nothing. Hesitation is a confession disguised as silence. Real understanding doesn't require psychic ability. It requires patience, presence, and curiosity. Most people rush to respond. You will be different. You will learn to observe before interpreting, question before assuming, and notice the smallest emotional shifts like a detective listening to whispers in a loud room. Start by watching consistency. Their usual tone versus today's tone, their normal posture versus their tense posture, now their typical eye contact versus sudden avoidance. People don't reveal truth when questioned. They reveal truth when they think nobody is watching. Understanding people also demands empathy, not softness, awareness. You are not here to judge emotions, but to decode them. When someone acts angry, often the real emotion behind it is fear, insecurity, or feeling unheard. When someone becomes overly cheerful, sometimes it's a shield against pain. Look for layered emotion, not surface reaction. People rarely say, "I feel threatened," but they will cross their arms, shift their weight, or tilt their chin defensively. Actions betray the emotion long before words try to hide it. From this moment forward, train yourself to listen to more than speech. Listen to breathing patterns. Watch eyes that flicker then return quickly. Notice the muscles in the face that don't lie, even when the voice does. Every interaction is an emotional puzzle, and every person is a book with chapters no one has read yet. If you slow down, stay alert, and observe without rushing to react, you will learn something extraordinary. People reveal truth in tiny pieces, and only the attentive collect them. Every face is a battlefield of emotion, tiny muscle movements fighting between what a person feels and what they want you to believe. Words can smile, but the face rarely lies for long. When someone forces a polite grin, only their lips move. The eyes stay stiff, still like frozen glass. True warmth lifts the cheeks, softens the gaze, and carves emotion into the eyes. A genuine expression isn't performed, it's released. Human emotion flashes like lightning, milliseconds long, too fast for most to catch. Not because it's invisible, but because most people never learn to watch. When something painful strikes a person's heart, their eyebrows may pinch for a split second before they recover. When fear surprises them, the eyes widen before the smile returns. These flashes aren't accidents, they're emotional fingerprints. To master reading faces, don't stare, observe softly. Let expressions come to you like ripples on water. Watch for those micro moments before someone arranges their public face. When a compliment lands, look at their eyes. Do they widen with genuine appreciation, or tighten with discomfort or disbelief? When someone receives bad news, does their mouth pull downward before they force calmness? But here's the twist. Not every smile hides sadness, and not every frown hides anger. Sometimes the truth is exactly what you see. The key is not suspicion, it's sensitivity. Don't jump to conclusions, gather clues. Subtle emotional tells. An eyebrow lift when someone sees someone they like, instinctive welcoming. A brief tightening around the lips, suppressed irritation or restraint. Eyes blinking faster, emotional pressure rising. jaw flexing for a second, holding back thoughts or frustration. These cues don't expose the full story, they open the door. Your job isn't to accuse or assume. Your job is to notice. Observe patterns, not single moments. Some people naturally have tense expressions. Some naturally smile a lot. The trick isn't spotting emotion, it's detecting shifts. If someone who normally maintains soft eye contact suddenly avoids your gaze, something shifted inside. If someone who usually smiles goes expressionless, pay attention, silence carries emotion too. And never forget cultural influence, expressions belong to humanity, but their intensity varies across cultures, families, and personalities. A quiet face isn't an empty one. Some people express through stillness rather than movement. Your superpower is timing. Pay close attention right after. A tough question, an unexpected comment, a vulnerable moment, a compliment, a disagreement, a secret being approached. Facial truth escapes in those windows. It appears for a flash, then disappears like a whisper swallowed by pride, fear, or habit. By learning to see these quick emotional sparks, you move from listening to appearances to listening to feelings. And once you see people emotionally, not verbally, the world becomes transparent. Emotions speak first. Words catch up later. Words are only the vehicle, the voice is the truth riding inside them. Two people can say, "I'm okay," yet one means it and the other is drowning in silence. The difference isn't the sentence, it's the sound beneath it. A voice carries emotion like wind carries a scent. Tone is the shadow of the heart and rhythm is the heartbeat of the mind. When you listen deeply, you don't hear what someone says, you hear where the words came from. Notice this. When someone is confident, their speech has a steady pace, like calm waves reaching the shore. Their breathing is relaxed, pauses are natural, and tone stays balanced. But insecurity, it shows in uneven speed. Words rush, then stop abruptly, like the person is chasing acceptance or running from judgment. The hidden messages in voice, every tone reveals something. Soft voice, hesitation, politeness, or emotional vulnerability. Sudden loudness, defense mechanism or attempt to control. Flat tone, emotional fatigue or internal withdrawal. Shaky voice, fear, uncertainty, or suppressed emotion. Forced enthusiasm, trying too hard to impress or hide discomfort. But never assume immediately, instead, connect tone to context. Is the voice naturally soft or suddenly quiet? Is the cheerfulness genuine or arriving too quickly after seriousness? People often mask insecurity with charm, humor, or exaggerated confidence, but tone cracks before expression does. Think about arguments. When someone gets defensive, their voice rises not because they're powerful, but because they feel cornered. In contrast, someone secure in their stance doesn't shout. They steady their voice like an anchor in a storm. Strength whispers. Fear demands volume. Breathing, the secret you must notice. Breathing is the rhythm of the mind. A calm mind breathes evenly. A stressed mind breathes unevenly. Pay attention to these shifts. Quick breaths, anxiety, anticipation, or excitement. Pauses before certain topics, emotional tension or hidden truth. Deep exhale before answering, preparing honesty or conflict. When someone inhales sharply or clears their throat before responding, it often signals they are organizing emotions, not words. Listen without interrupting. Most people talk to reply. You will talk to understand. Silence is your ally. When you give someone space to speak, they reveal themselves. People who feel truly heard stop protecting and start expressing. Let conversations breathe. Let pauses exist. Silence pulls truth out like gravity pulls water from a sponge. And here's the most powerful part. What people avoid saying is louder than what they speak. If someone changes tone at the mention of a name, a topic, or a memory, that tone shift is a map to their emotional core. Master voice reading and you unlock emotional X-ray vision. You'll no longer listen just to sentences, you'll listen to heartbeat rhythms within them. Words inform, tone reveals, breathing exposes, silence confesses. And when you learn to hear all four, you stop hearing conversations, you start hearing souls. You can pretend with your voice. You can train your face. But your eyes, they betray you before you even realize it. The eyes don't just see, they speak, they react, they confess. A person's eyes respond to emotion before the brain has time to censor it. That's why some truths are visible only for a split second, and those who notice gain a power most people miss their entire lives. Imagine someone hearing unexpected news. Watch their eyes, not their smile. If joy is real, their eyes will brighten first, tiny spark, quick widening, microglimmer. A fake reaction. The smile and words arrive first, and the eyes play catch-up, unsuccessfully. The language of eyes, there are patterns you must learn to see. Eyes widening, surprise, excitement, or sudden realization. Eyes narrowing, suspicion, focus. Evaluation, rapid blinking, stress, pressure, emotional discomfort, looking down, shame, hesitation. Processing thoughts, looking away abruptly, hiding truth or avoiding vulnerability. But remember, context shapes meaning. Looking down can mean respect in some cultures, while direct eye contact can be seen as confrontation in others. Don't judge a single signal, read the pattern. The pupils never lie. Pupil size reveals emotion faster than speech. Dilated pupils, interest, attraction, excitement, curiosity. Constricted pupils, fear, anger, distrust, discomfort. These reactions aren't conscious, they're primal. Evolution doesn't lie. Instincts still live behind the eyes. The gaze tells the story. How someone looks at the world reveals their relationship with it. A confident person looks steadily, calmly. A nervous person's eyes dart like birds avoiding predators. Someone hiding something looks too long or too little. Both extremes signal internal conflict. And then there's the lingering glance, when someone looks at something meaningful to them and they don't realize they lingered. We stare a little longer at what matters, a person, a goal, a memory, a dream. Emotional weight behind the eyes sometimes. Eyes look tired not from lack of sleep, but from carrying thoughts too heavy to share. You'll see it in slow blinks, softened focus, a distant gaze as if the person is walking through memories instead of the present moment. When someone is hurt but holding themselves together, the eyes don't cry, they tighten, as if they're keeping everything inside. When someone feels safe, the eyes relax, the gaze steadies, the lids soften, and the world outside momentarily disappears. Be gentle with what you discover. Seeing into someone's eyes is like reading pages they never meant to publish. With understanding comes responsibility. Your goal isn't to expose or confront, it's to understand and respond wisely. Someone once said, "The eyes are a doorway, but kindness decides whether you walk through." Learn to notice. Learn to interpret. And above all, learn to use this insight with empathy, not power. Those who read eyes don't control people, they connect with them on a level most never reach. Human beings speak with more than limbs. We speak with space, posture, stillness, and motion. Every person carries an invisible map around them, a territory of comfort and boundaries. How they move within that space is a coded message waiting to be decoded. Most people believe body language is about gestures. It isn't. True understanding begins with how someone occupies the world around them. A confident person walks like they belong. They move with rhythm, not rush, each step measured, grounded. Their shoulders remain open, head aligned with purpose, and they do not shrink to fit into a space. Confidence doesn't push aggressively, it exists comfortably. Contrast that with unease. Feet shuffle, hands fidget, body compresses inward, as if someone is trying to take up less space in the world, afraid to be seen or judged. When a person hugs their chest with crossed arms or hides hands in pockets, they're protecting their inner world from exposure. Movement is emotion in motion. Watch how someone reacts when a topic shifts. Do they lean forward, pull back, turn slightly away? These are instincts, not decisions. Leaning in signals engagement or curiosity. Pulling away signals discomfort or emotional withdrawal. Turning the body sideways subtly creates distance, a non-verbal escape. Some movements are tiny but powerful. Touching the neck, vulnerability or insecurity, adjusting clothing suddenly. nervousness or self-awareness rubbing hands, anticipation or self-soothing foot tapping, restlessness, impatience, or hidden stress hands reveal secrets too. A relaxed hand signals peace. A clenched fist, even loosely, carries tension or suppressed emotion. Fingers drumming on a table may mask frustration or impatience. We calm ourselves unconsciously through touch, rubbing palms, arms, or the back of the neck to soften anxiety inside. Where people sit tells a story. Watch how people choose positions in a room. Those who feel confident or secure choose middle or open seating. Those anxious or unsure choose corners, edges, or seats with backs against walls, protection instinct. Even distance matters. When someone steps closer while speaking, they seek connection or dominance. When they maintain distance, they value control of their emotional space. When they step back mid-conversation, something you said may have touched a nerve, even if they smile. Stillness is not calm. It's a signal. Frozen posture isn't relaxation. It's emotional freeze mode. When someone suddenly stops moving, even briefly, it means the brain is calculating, reacting to threat, confusion, or emotional weight. Instinct tells us to pause in uncertainty. Movement doesn't lie, but don't rush judgment. A single gesture is not truth, a pattern is. Everyone fidgets sometimes. Everyone crosses arms occasionally. What matters is change, not moments. Observe softly. Notice without invading. Understand without assuming. True perception isn't watching people. It's witnessing their emotional world through how they move in yours. Most people fear silence. They rush to fill it with noise, explanations, small talk, anything to avoid feeling exposed. Yet silence is the most honest moment in any interaction. It is where the truth breathes, where emotions rise without disguise. Silence is not empty, it's full. Full of thoughts unspoken, feelings forming, instincts shifting. If you want to understand someone instantly, study what happens when the talking stops. Some people go silent because they feel safe, letting peace settle between you. Others fall quiet because they're guarding themselves, holding emotions behind a fence they don't want to open. The difference lies in how the silence feels, not just its presence. Does the silence soften the room or tighten it? Is it calm or tense, cozy or distant? Silence is emotional weather, and you must learn to read it like sky and storm. The timing of emotions. Human beings rarely show emotion at the moment they feel it. Instead, emotions lag like thunder following lightning. But when the reaction does arrive, pay attention to the delay, the speed, and the intensity. For example, someone hears criticism and laughs lightly, but 2 seconds later their smile fades. That delayed fade is the real emotion surfacing. Someone receives praise and pretends humility, but their eyes brighten half a second later. There lies the pride they won't say aloud. Someone gets asked a personal question, and before answering, they inhale a tiny breath, meaning, choose your words carefully. Emotion timing is truth timing. The pause means something. Pauses are emotional punctuation. A sudden pause before speaking often means they're searching for safe words. They feel vulnerable. Something inside them disagrees with what they're about to say. They need time to hide a feeling. A quick, sharp pause reveals anxiety or fear. A slow, thoughtful pause shows genuine processing, sincerity trying to find shape. Silence after a question. Ask someone a meaningful question and watch the gap before their reply. Truth rarely rushes, deception often does. The guilty hurry, the unsure hesitate, the honest think. But again, context matters. A person in deep thought is not the same as a person in emotional panic. Emotional echoes after a conversation ends. The way someone behaves in the seconds after reveals more than what they said during it. A deep sigh afterward equals emotional release. Looking down equals processing vulnerability. Quick phone check equals escape from discomfort. Readjusting clothing equals self-consciousness. Triggered people reveal themselves not just in responses, but in recoveries. The power of letting silence work. Don't rush to fill emotional space. Let moments breathe. Let truth rise. Silence invites authenticity, and authenticity reveals character. True understanding doesn't come from constant interpreting. It comes from calm presence during raw human moments. If you can sit in silence without discomfort, you become the person others unconsciously reveal themselves to. You've learned to see what others miss: expressions, tone, eye signals, movement, silence. But understanding people isn't about collecting clues like a detective hunting flaws. Real mastery lies in using insight to connect, not control. Power without compassion creates manipulation. Power with empathy builds influence. Reading people is only step one. Responding wisely is step two, and the true art. Human behavior is not random. It is a map built from childhood experiences, fears, they still carry dreams, they protect love, they seek wounds, they hide pride, they defend. Behind every reaction is a reason. When you understand that, you stop judging behavior and start understanding pain, hope, insecurity, and desire. Use insight to make people feel seen. Most individuals live unseen, unheard, misunderstood. When someone truly recognizes what they feel, even without them saying it, trust forms instantly. You become rare because true understanding is rare. A simple statement like, "You look like something is weighing on you. You don't need to tell me, but I'm here if you want to," can unlock doors words alone never would. Use your perception to offer comfort, not confrontation. Let people open, don't pry them open. Mirror without imitating. When someone's energy is anxious, don't match it, steady it. When someone is joyful, rise to meet them. When someone is guarded, be warm, not forceful. Emotional intelligence isn't reacting, it is choosing. Your calm presence becomes an emotional anchor. Your steady tone becomes reassurance. Your silence becomes safety. People reveal themselves to those who make them feel safe. Choose curiosity over assumption. Even if you recognize a signal, never jump to conclusions. Instead of thinking, "They're angry," think, "Something stirred inside them, let me understand it." Curiosity protects relationships and builds bridges. Assumption burns them. Influence through respect. There is a difference between influence and control. Control demands. Influence invites. People follow those who can read their emotions and still respect their boundaries. When someone feels understood without being pushed, they naturally lean toward your energy. Because the deepest human desire isn't to be impressed, it's to be understood. 3 golden rules for ethical influence. Never use insight to exploit weakness. Strength lies in protecting vulnerability, not using it. Lead by calm, not force. When you are centered, others steady themselves in your presence. Offer understanding before advice. People accept guidance only after they feel seen. Your new ability: you no longer just look, you observe. You no longer just hear, you listen. You no longer just respond, you understand. And that changes everything. People don't remember what you said. They remember how deeply you made them feel recognized. The world is full of eyes that look. Be the rare soul who sees.